Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Disco Kitty the Crappy Grafter. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. It's going to be real super simple. It's probably going to be a fairly short video, but I'm going to take this coaster mold and I'm going to get some resin and I'm going to take these Skittles and I'm going to do that thing that you see people doing with hot water. And we're going to see if it works in hot resin. So what people do is they'll take some kind of plate or mold or something and they will put a ring of Skittles on it and then they'll put water on the plate and you can watch as all of the colorant from the Skittles kind of, slowly oozes towards the center. And I'm excited and I want to see if it'll work in resin, so let's just get right into it. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is measure the size of these molds. I'm going to use water, pour the water into a measuring cup. It's going to be approximately 90 milliliters. So we'll make 180 for a pair of molds. I will end up making like 5 of these all total in the end. But I'm going to do it in pairs because what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook one in the big cooker and I'm going to leave one sit out overnight, see if there's any difference, see if anything happens. And I did do time lapses, but I'm not going to include them because hey, you'll see. So using some 2-part epoxy resin from Let's Resin. It's the stuff that I use all the time. When you're stirring, make sure you stir for at least 3 minutes, scraping the sides and the bottom constantly as you go. All the time. Scrape, scrape, scrape. And we'll gently pour it in. This one I started by pouring from the center and then going to the edges, but all the rest of them I start at the edges and then, trying to reduce the amount of bubbles that I get. Here I'm just trying to, make sure that I resin everywhere on every piece, trying to get rid of any bubbles or anything like that. The bubbles didn't stick to the Skittles as much as they will stick to the Reese's Pieces later. It's kind of funny. They must have like a smoother shell or something. Oh, look at that giant bubble. Oh, that giant bubble. That's what happens when you cook. When you cook, you trap bubbles. You can even see all the little bubbles in the center there, almost like a little cloud. Now this is going to have a whole bunch of little micro bubbles as well. But you know what? That's not what we're here for. We're not here for the bubbles, although I will talk about them extensively later. And I'm showing them off now. Get something black to look at them. Oh, look at those bubbles. Oh no, bubbles, bubbles. That's not why we're here. Get to the point, girl. Oh no, more bubbles. Oh, and an ugly face. Oh, look at that ugly face. Oh. Anyways, so the die did not in fact pull off of the pieces and shoop to the center like I was hoping that it would. I was, like I'll say later, I was hoping that the heat from either the cooker or from, the resin, I was just hoping that it would melt it a little bit and pull the color to the center. Nay. Nay, nay, nay. Oh well. It is what it is. We'll go poke all of these because, like I said, these held on to a lot more air, a lot more bubbles than the Skittles did. And I'm going to assume that that's because these were a lot more rough. A lot more rough. The Skittles are shiny and these are not. But, experiments fail. And that's what we're here for, right? Here to watch me fail. No, seriously though. I fail so you don't have to. Yes. And this was definitely not a success. It didn't do what I wanted it to do, but they look nice in the end. I mean, it's still pretty. It's still cute, for a candy themed thing. It's not horrible. I like it. Probably should have just used smaller molds though. Oh well. But there they are, the 4 that I've made so far, not worked at all the way I want them to. So this time we're going to add some alcohol inks mixed. They're transparent inks mixed with a white base so that they'll be more opaque, because I didn't have any opaque colors that I really liked. And this is just not going to work. Now, if I had left it like this, it would have been fine. But no, I had to put another splotch of brown on top. Why did I do that? No, just bad. Now I'm going in with just the plain alcohol inks, just trying to reduce that brown, and then I'm gonna ruin it by putting a whole bunch of sinker white on it, and it's not going to do anything that I want. I wanted it originally to pull from the edges to the center to like you see with the water. It's not going to do that. So and then I tried to make a Petri method out of it, and that also does not work. So whatever. And there it is. I mean, it's not horrible, and there's so much ink that the back side is softer than the front side, and I really have to dome it to make sure that none of the alcohol leaks out, because I'm sure there's going to be some, but I mean, it's okay. It's alright. It's okay. It could have been a lot worse. Here we are, looking at it again, making sure we can't see any lines or striations or anything like that, and looking at those bubbles again, of course. But, I mean, they worked, but did not do what I wanted them to do, and that's okay. Well, those are cute, even if they didn't come out the way I wanted them to. So, the first 2 were the Skittles. This one was in the cooker. I remember because it had a big bubble in it when it came out. It's got a whole bunch of little tiny bubbles in the back. And this one just let sit overnight. And it has a whole bunch of micro bubbles. I don't know if you can see them. Let's put them up against something black. I don't know if you can see them. Lots of little micro bubbles. Oh, well, right? Okay, and then, oh yeah, and they also were slightly deeper than the mold, so they're textured. I could probably dome it, it would be fine, but the next one was the Reese's Pieces. I don't remember which one was which, but I'm gonna guess this one was the one that came out of the cooker, because it's got a lot of slightly bigger bubbles in it, if you can see them. I don't know if you can. Whereas this one is got a lot of super teeny tiny, almost frosty bubbles, but no big bubbles. And then there was this one where I will go trick y'all and put some alcohol inks in to make it look like it had flowed, but the brown overpowered the orange and the yellow. And I mean, it looks cool, but nah. Maybe I'll try again. Who knows? I don't know. But obviously you need water in order to get the pigment off of these. It didn't. I was hoping that the heat of the resin would pull the wax and the colorant off of these or these, but that didn't work. But they still look kind of cool, and you know, if I ever really, you know, no, I'm just kidding. Anyways, so that didn't work, but they still look cool, and we'll see what happens next week. Until then, stay safe.